Welcome back to Satisfactory. I've decided that we need to go back in time. I'm down here with the copper wire, and I was looking at one of our high speed connection factories, and I realized we're running out of wire, and then I realized we haven't really made a proper wire factory. We've been we've been surviving on inline solutions and kind of runoff from our copper factory. Though, where is our wire storage? You'd think it... I feel like it's in here, but kind of a halfy. It's probably here. Yeah, it's... Hey, we labeled it, so at least now we know. So yeah, absolutely no cable. So I think we should build just a little cable factory floor. Should be relatively easy. Might even get away with a shorter video today. But let's see. If I look up, there's 1, 2 there. So let's go 3. Really make sure we give ourselves some room. If we lift 3 belts is a lot. Let's check our cable recipe. We only have 1, so it's just going to be a grind. 60 to 30, so divided by 2, 60. 780 times 3 divided by 60. 39 machines. Divided by 9-ish? Oh, wait. 39 machines. Divided by 3. 13 blocks. So 2 blocks will handle all 3 of these and have capacity left over. So we'll go ahead and do this 3 lift. I can already tell I'm going to regret this. We'll put this under. And then I guess we could siphon it off. You got to remember that the rest of the factory is going to kick back on at some point. This is coming out of here. I guess I should pull one from way back here. And then we'll go over here and we'll just pull in. We'll just do a simple splitter here. All right, we've got it flowing now, looks like. So that's our 3 belts. I don't know what I've done with this recipe or this blueprint that causes it to be off by half a nudge every time. Okay. Now, easiest thing to do at this point would be to just get these lined up and then just straight whip them in here. We'll just get these put in here, leaving plenty of room. I want it to turn so we can turn again. Then we can just whip that right in there, just like that. We'll give ourselves a little bit of a floor. Give me a second, I'll build this. Alright, so now we're just looking for the connect point for our infinite lift. Oh, we already have 3. If this is a good place for it, that'd be great. But I think we want to go even further up. Wow. Something like this, but if we go here, we're going to have to... So here, I think, is the way to go. Where's that going to go? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So I would say it's here. Then we'll just lift it, turn, and put it back in right here. Let's see if these 3 are the right 3. Hey, we got it right. All right, give me a second while I build these 3 lifts. Okay, we got those 3 built. Now it's a matter of trying to figure out how to connect this. You know what? Before we do that, though, let's put in some blueprint work. I think the blueprint can fit in here. Yeah. All this super high-tech stuff, and we're going to build cable right next to our nuclear pasta. I think if I go in here and load this, I think if we load the quick wire... Ooh, we have a tall quick wire version? Oh. What are we missing? Encased industrial beams of all things. Why do we need those? Well, we need them either way. Let me see if I can... craft a bench a little bit here. All right, we can make enough. Give me a second. I'll make these beams real quick. All right. Done and done. So let's load this tall quick wire mega platform. Kind of see where we are here. I mean, a lot of the basics are here for us. We'll just have to change all the signage. Because it's wire in and cable out. Oh, I didn't copy that one. I mean, it's almost like we need to reverse this. Just so it's not orange on orange. All right. And then we'll go in here and change this recipe to cable, obviously. You know what I'm tempted to do? I'm tempted to preload all of these with wire as part of the blueprint. $2,000 wire in the uploader at any given time. The uploader only be able to support 300 of this. We're going to be annoyed by that, but it will allow us to make cable a lot faster right from the beginning. But it is going to be annoying. But it's an annoyance of my own making, so it's okay. What color is cable? I mean, it's just black. Though I don't think this game recognizes black light. This is just going to look like it's off. Yeah. We'll go kind of a bright orange for the... Uh-oh. We'll go orangey for the cable side, or for the wire side, and yeah, well, you know what? We'll go. I'm tempted to go black actually. What does super black light look like? Probably no difference than just black light. I kind of like that. Just one side of it, one half of it lit, and the other half basically off. All of this, and we still don't have the necessary encased beams of all things. That's probably not a great place for that. And we are just creating junk everywhere. A huge handful of heat sinks really probably not doing us any favors. All right, so the numbers 13 blocks, so 2 blocks, so 18 machines. Or 18 blueprints. This is supposed to be something different now. Oh, it's the quartz crystal again. Actually, well, yeah, I'll pull in the stuff, and then the stuff we have to manually get, I'll do that in the void of an edit. So, sheets, we can pull those in. 400 sheets is plenty. Quartz crystal. This actually loads pretty fast now. That's still only half of what we need. But I think we'll be fine. It's the wire. 27,000 wire. Ouch. Somebody put the wire in the blueprint, so it's going to take a lot of wire to build this thing. And so 400, that's 900. Concrete. That's enough. Steel beam. Yep, looks like we can handle that. Cable, ironically. We might not have enough cable to make cable. That is not cool. Let's pull in some copper sheets and then I'll go shopping. All right, I will be right back once we have a pretty good assemblage of the stuff we need. I'm out here picking up the quartz crystal. The reason why it uploads so nicely is because we do have 2 uploaders working. But sometimes nothing can quite beat picking up a chunk in real time. We'll see where we are on the wire side of this thing. Actually, I decided we could build the wire side into this. So we're not going to do that. But I am curious about our encased industrial beam situation. I think it's still due to that. Well, is it because we don't have enough ingots for pipes? I think the answer is probably yes. Because, yeah, we're using the pipe recipe. And that's causing us to have lockdown because we've got this little guy over here. We actually have a couple of pipe pieces going. So some of it's due to the fact that we're making insufficient pipes, and some of it's because we probably have this blockage over here still. I'm going to slow that belt all the way down. Give this guy full access to as much of it as possible. Maybe even take a little stack for us to play with. Speaking of playing with, let's also pull in some additional iron plate. of the reinforced kind, obviously. And if we get all of that, once it fills up, we'll have plenty of that. So really all we need is the cable and the encased industrial beams, and we'll be ready to build. So now I'm totally distracted, but I figured if we're gonna make cable just in time to build it so we can have cable, then I might as well have a machine that's got a bunch of power shards in it where we can make that cable rather rapidly. But in order to get the power shards, it seemed like we should only make power shards until we get to the synthetic ones on a machine that has a summer sloop on it. Right? I mean, doubling your power shards is insanely good. I was gonna deal with the yellow and the blue, but I think for now the purple's way more than we need. So we'll just deal with that. I wonder, do I have a... Do I have a organization, dimensional depot? Yeah, I could build some dimensional depots. That's interesting. All right, 70 shards. That's enough. Let me grab some concrete here. And then we'll bang out the necessary encased beams. We obviously have severe issues going on with encased beams. I'll be right back once we've got the necessary beams. I'm not going to have you suffer through. Watch me bang all these out. You know what? I decided to check in. I started making encased beams by hand. And then I thought, well, maybe there's an opportunity for me to... maybe there's a side pocket of encased beams that we've been making that I can just pick up. I could have sworn encased beams were one of the first things we put together. So I didn't create a side pocket for encased beams. That's unfortunate. Let me rework this. We're gonna do a splitter here. Ooh boy, come on. There we go. And then here we'll put in a nice setup for both the side collection all right, so that way at least we're getting some of the upload. And now that we're letting these rods go through, this is actually working. I'll pull in a little bit more. We're actually making some beams. Not enough, not fast enough. But they're getting made at least. Let me return to the build site. My thought is we could probably pull in enough wire on the site to get to the 27,000 relatively quickly. And then we could use a little bit of it to also make the 900 cable that we need. But, oh wait, yeah. So here's the pole, then we have to decide where we want to place it. Technically, we don't really need a full storage of any of these things, but especially not the cable, or the wire, I should say. So I'm tempted to put in one of these anyway. Something like this, I think. Maybe over here. Keep it a little tighter. And then we'll find a way to hook it all up. We got to get space for 3. And then input one more. Seems like it's all coming out this direction, so we'll put the input over here. Then we just need to connect this wire. Probably have to do like 3 different output directions. And then 2 different input directions. We'll let this one go straight in. We'll have this guy go in here. One's really enough, but might as well go ahead and complete the infrastructure side. And then we'll go in this way. Gonna give me the ley line. I appreciate that. And then we'll snap that right there. And then all that glorious wire will flow in. Go here for the wire. Then we'll pop in the stuff like so. And then we'll come over here and just give ourselves a little upgrade. I'm tempted to put an uploader on this, but we're going to need the wire. And we only set ourselves up for 3. Having the wire locally is the key, I think. And then while we're banging out the rest of our encased beams, we'll put in a temporary... Don't even have the cable to make the machines to make the cable. It's one of those days. Now, of course, I'm concerned that we might not have the cable to connect the power to make the cables. We're short exactly 1 cable. We're gonna make sure that we're gonna really have a good digital uploader on this. $75 per minute, and we need 900. All right, we got this going. I could probably put this into 1, but we're here, so we'll just merge these in real quick. Copy, paste, and paste. And I think it makes more sense to grab, just so we don't, so we have some wire locally to use as well. I think each one of these is right around 24,000 wire. That's what, if we wanted 28,000 wire divided by 780 divided by 3, that'd only take 10 minutes. All right, so we'll get this cranking on some cable. We already have 115 on that side. We're making 75 times 3. So 900 divided by 225, 4 minutes. All right, so by the time we get this encased industrial... Wait, why are... Oh, right. So the encased industrial beam piece is working a lot better now, because we are not depending on our industrial storage container to do the splitting for us. 314 will give us 500 and change. All right, so I'm gonna cut on this. Of course, as soon as I say that, I notice that we're also short on sheets. Let's try to get everything loaded. And we are going to need beams because we're using beams to make the industrial beams. So I'm just going to pull all those in as well. Yeah, and we probably have some of this over here. Or not. Oh, wait, we got 1600 cable. All right, well, hey. Worst case scenario, we end up with a little extra cable. Though I probably don't want that much cable. Well, we are going to need cable for cabling. So give me a second. I'm going to bang out these industrial beams, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. I am liking how this is shaping up. We have almost all the cable we need. It's not going to allow us to leave a space. We'll drop this over here. And then... it looks like we've got pretty close the amount that we need to build this. But here's the problem. I'm going to want to connect it. Because this is also kind of an inline buffer. Let me build one more on the side here. Let me build two more on the side here. And we'll just store everything and then grab it all and then paste it all. And that's half kind of on the side, ready to go when we need it. Right? And then let's pick up a little bit of that. Oh, you know what? We're not done with that blueprint yet. Let me see, because we're going to want... yeah, we're nowhere near done with that blueprint yet. We got it to the tall level, but that's not the end of the story. Or is it? Maybe we are done. This connects straight through. And the output connects straight through. Okay, maybe we are done. Huh. Oh, no, wait. That's only going to get us 3. This is only going to get us 2 belts, not 3. That's the problem. So, I think we need another. And then we're going to have to do something funky to get this connected. This part has to be a splitter. Just has to be. And then we'll just merge this right here. As long as we connect 2 of these here, we'll be okay. So I'm gonna put a little organizational sign on this, and it's gonna say a giant number 2 on it, if such an option exists. If it doesn't, we'll find a way to make it exist. Layout. So we'll connect 2 belts on this one on this one. They'll go down. They'll try to merge in. If not, we'll just directly connect this one to the next storage container. Eventually, this thing will pull in so much that it will... you know what? We're going to have it... oh, if this were a smart splitter, it'd be so much better. A smart merger would be ideal. But a smart merger doesn't exist. The thing I learned on my last blueprint is the further to the edge, the better. When it comes time to turn. Something like this is looking pretty good in my mind. Let's save it and let's build it. We increased our steel budget by a chunk. All right. We'll let those beams flow in. If we run out, then we'll do some connections while it uploads the rest. Save, clear. I should have removed this. Now we're going to have a crate. We'll build it and then we'll clean up that crate. So it looks like right here is okay. Oh boy, that wire thing is going to be a thing. Let's see if we can get this built out once at least. Just to get it started. I'm thinking this row. Something like that. That's on. Which corner is this on? It's on this line, so this corner right here. All right, ready to rock. Man, how are we burning through so many pipes? It's weird. Oh. And now we gotta refill the cable. I am really gonna regret having all that wire be part of the blueprint itself. It's definitely gonna limit my rapid building. Until we're able to, like, clean out the inventory. All right. I think we're doing okay. I am looking at that reinforced plate. Seems like we might not have enough of that flowing in right now. Before we go shopping again, though, I'm going to make sure we clean up our local build site. And there we go. And let's just connect this little row here. All right. Now, connecting. See, they're already running because they've got wire inside of them by default. If we connect 2 of these, does this guy have 2 inputs? Yeah, pretty much. 1, 2. Where's my delete button? Oh, there we go. I got all kinds of stuff over here. We know we've got sufficient cable, so I can take this out. We don't need this little temporary deal anymore. Maybe that'll allow us to grab a little wire while we're at it. So we still need 10,000 more wire. That's a good chunk. Oh, we've got it right here. So that part of the plan worked. We were able to just bring the wire up to this level so we could use it to build. Let me take a second. Let me take a second to build these belts. I'll be right back. All right. So we got that part built. Just trying to buy us some time while we wait for the reinforced plate, which we can't upload anymore because they're full. A little something like that. All right. And then I'm thinking we should go for building the other side of this thing. Though, I guess getting the other... I'm going to connect you to here to accelerate this process. I'm going to try our best to maintain a third belt here. All 3 belts are running. All right, so now we've got this going. I think it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is hoisting as much wire into the machines as possible. Okay, I'm happy with that. And now I think we just put in one more round of these guys and we're done. Well, we're done after we decide on storage. Then we're done. Any extra we can just drop right back into this. All right. Click and a click and a click. My signs are not exactly ideal. They're like facing each other with a 1 meter differential. I should have offset that a little bit more. Yeah, I could have offset these, but that's okay. It's such a minor issue. Let's connect the power on this. All right, power connected. And then I remembered we actually, so it goes, effectively we're saying 3 belts. So it's divided by 2, so that's 1.5 belts getting sent into this side. It's just not enough if we want to go 0 clip, which I guess I don't care because I'm building it anyway. All right, let's put in the... We'll put in the splitters. Extend this out a little bit. Of course, now we got another problem. So we'll nudge this in so it aligns with this. And now I gotta do a close one. And then I think, oh wait. Well, at this point it's only 1 belt, but that's still 3 belts total, so it's fine. And then we'll put this in here. So the thought is that we get to have our cake and eat it too, right? All these guys at the end, instead of me manually hoisting in a bunch of wire. Ooh, we're short 1 belt already. It starts off with it. So now we've got plenty of cable in place, or wire in place to make our cable. And now it's just a matter of collecting it. Technically, we've got a customer right here that desperately needs this wire. Of course, it looks like we set it up where the wire is on the other side, or the inputs are on the other side. So it might make more sense to exclusively connect it to the storage downstairs. But I'll probably peel some of it off. But we'll see about that here in a second. First things first, let's get our storage ready. Oh, wait, it says we have 4 more to go. Is that true? 780 times 3. 2340. How many of these did we build? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 3 times 2 times 60. 2520. Yeah, I just made a miscalculation somewhere as far as how many platforms we needed. Our total capacity is more than 3 wires worth, so it's fine. Not to get distracted again. Trying to get this lined up reasonably well. It won't be perfect. It's off by that much. You know what? I think it might be better just to use the non-straight. And then we'll put the cable on here. And then we need to, I mean, so this is a non-guaranteed method for having cable when you need it. Because then you want to connect it to a dimensional depot. Like so. Now we're uploading cable at least. Well, we will be. But part of me says I should split this again. And have this be our shipment out to the rest of the world. These guys at the end still ended up with no wire. Is this connected all the way through? I feel like that's aggressive that they're already out of wire. I guess it compresses down relatively quickly. I haven't connected the outputs yet. Actually, let me take a second to go ahead and connect these outputs. We'll be right back. All right. That's looking good. This is filling up. And it's filling up. Wait, why is this not moving? Like, why do I see cable that's not moving? I'm worried this isn't connected correctly. What? I don't understand. Clearly. This is purely an inline, so there probably isn't going to be a ton. Is it just deciding not to animate, but it's still working? Because I see it going up, but I should also see this. All right, hold on. I'm going to put a little bit of wire in here. What is going on? Have I totally messed this up? I don't understand how this is working at all. All right, you know what? It's claiming that it's working, so I'm going to believe it. It seems like for this one, maybe not for all of them. Oh, that's the reason. Right, because it's connected to the bottom. Splitter. Yeah, so this guy, this last one isn't doing us any good. Technically, I should probably just go like this. Merge this into here. If we don't want a container of wire just sitting idle. Which is always, sometimes it's nice to be able to grab some wire like that. But probably better just to use the wire all the time than to satisfy some super hardcore edge case. So a little bit of cable is coming through at least. Right now it looks like there's 2 belts worth. But it's probably because we have some internal storage that's resolving itself. So all in all, I think this is looking good. Now the question arises. Do we inject? Because the only thing that these high-speed connectors need are cable. But that means every other part of the factory also needs cable. And this thing is taking 37.5 per minute. And what are we making? We're making a good chunk, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2,500 per minute. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Times 2. 16 times 37.5. Yeah, I mean, these guys would definitely enjoy it. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We're gonna go ahead and put that in. If we can find a reasonable way to do it here. So the cable's coming in here from down below. I could probably put a merger on here. And then we'll just sort of swoop this in like this. Okay, then that will allow us a little bit of a run. Oh, look at that. Yeah. We're clipping that. I don't really care. A little bit of a runway for outputting cable directly into our high-speed manufactory. Alright. Good chunk of that belt is built. I want to get back to the conversation as far as like, how does this connect? You know, good old-fashioned industrial storage container does this job really well. Except it needs to face the right direction. So that should give our high-speed connectors a huge boost eventually. And as those back up, I think then it makes sense for us to just reverse engineer this. Right, this is where the cable goes up. So it should be pretty close to where the cable can come down. And that way the rest of the factory can enjoy the new connection of cable. No doubt this factory is going to get it twice, but that's okay. If nobody else needs it, then the high-speed factory can... High-speed connection factory can use it. Though it's a pretty good chunk. We'll put you right there. And then something like, come on. I am off. There we go. I know what I want to do. I want to just throw a industrial storage container in here. But I know the split capability of this thing is just not great. It's unreliable. It's definitely one belt in. Wait, how's that possible? One belt in. We actually have another belt that we have to deal with. Is that true? I think that's true. We're doing 3 belts in, 1.5 belts out. I think for right now, I might be okay with just the 1 belt, and then once we get another clear demand for cable, we'll come back and figure this out, because that clear demand for cable is probably going to come from something close to here. So we'll run. Let me just take a look at what you use cable for in production. See if I can envision in my mind what we're using it for. We're using it for high-speed connectors, and we're using it almost exclusively for high-speed connectors. You could use it for oscillators. I'm 99% sure we're using this recipe for our crystal oscillators. So right now, the only thing we're using this for is high-speed connectors. I'm willing to admit that that probably won't always be the case. Let me put a smart splitter on this. Basically, we'll prioritize our high-speed connector factory, but if we ever have any extra, we'll send it back down for general use. This is the any and the center is the overflow. Exactly like that. And we've got a halfway decent amount. Let's just fly through here and give some of these guys at the end a opportunity to start making stuff for us. They only have 9 at this point. Well, I guess I did cut it off for a bit there. Yeah, they're going to start to pile up. 73 on this one. 80 on this one. It'll be fine. Then we'll just drop the cable. To the ground. And then we're gonna need to find a place to actually takes the cable. I'm flying right next to it. Right next to it. There. So now that any extra, once the high-speed connector factory fills up, will get sent down here, made available for storage, made available for uploading, which is good. It's a backup uploader though, because this was before we knew how uploaders really worked. And then right now, of course, it's primarily to go right back up to the high-speed connector factory. How are we making our computers? I know this is kind of like moving forward a little too much. I mean, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if we did a assembler crystal oscillator only computer build. Skip the need for plastic. Delayed it a little longer at least. But really, we should be looking at our cooling system. Oh, you know, the reason why I'm trying to delay that is because the cooling system is going to be a side quest nightmare. If I go for the computer side of things next, computers, well, I promised myself I would try to use the, well, there's a demand for, we haven't made automated wiring yet. Ooh, there's a deal breaker for you. Making automated wiring. You need 2.5 per minute on this recipe. And you make, oh, interesting. And you make 2.5. That could be an interesting opportunity for an inline solution. Boy, that's a lot of inputs though. I don't know. I might make the computers next just to take the easy route. But part of our problem is that we're not using enough plates. And computers don't really draw down our plate storage. Just gonna start cleaning up. At the end of all of our builds, when we have massive empty inventory, we see an extra storage container lying around. I think it makes sense just to delete it. All right, let's see. What else? What else? Oh yeah, we were gonna check in on our... Still... Even with this set to one Mark 1 belt. All right, yeah, we're gonna have to use our plates. Thermal propulsion rocket requires a cooling system directly. And then we did our sketch for rockets, modular engines, and turbos. You know, I could technically build this next. That would use some of the smart plate. And then we could use the alternate to use the nitrogen instead of the coolings. And it would all help us avoid radios. But using those pressure cubes would also consume our extra plates. Boy, this thing is big. Motors need rotors, rotors need rods. And we need all of that because our plates, we've got too many plates. I'm also... Yeah, I think I could skip the cooling and get the thermal propulsion set up. That should consume some plates while we wait. Do we have any motors? Doesn't look like it. Looks like all the motors we've had, we've uploaded. We're sitting on 0 motors. That's painful. All right, well, we'll have to figure it out in the next episode. I might go so far as to make a rotor, a third starter tower, but make it exclusively for rotors. But we'll decide all of that in the next episode. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.